What's going on, guys? Espionage Micro here, and today we're just going to be doing a little podcast talking about really Call of Duty. That's what I'm all about. You guys know I'm a huge Call of Duty fan. That's my game. That's what I play. That's what I do. And so if you guys did see a podcast, I did a solo podcast a little while back. It was called The Current State of Call of Duty and How We Got Here. You can find that on my YouTube channel a few months back. Also on SoundCloud. I believe my name is Micro Drummer. I'll go ahead and double check that, put that in the description. But guys, yeah, it's kind of like not really a follow-up to that, but kind of like on the same subject on Call of Duty. Not really the current state, just my feelings, and we're just gonna go ahead and kick this off because, as we all know, this year Call of Duty World War II back on boots on the ground, like everyone wanted. People didn't want to go to the future. They wanted to stay, go back to the past or stay in the present, or even if we did go to the future, just not have something unrealistic like boost jumping, wall running, things of that nature. And that's exactly what we got. Sledgehammer this year gave us a Call of Duty, boots on the ground, back to World War II, an era that a lot of people really wanted to go back to, since the Call of Duty franchise has not been back there since, Treyarch did it with World at War. And a lot of people love that game. Not really a ton of people played that game just because it was the game right after COD 4, Modern Warfare 1, so a lot of people were hooked on that game, and so World at War kind of didn't get, the credit it deserved. I personally never played it, like I said, I really didn't get on the Call of Duty bandwagon until Modern Warfare 2, that was after World at War. So my question here is, and pretty much what we're going to discuss is, why this year is Call of Duty still going under the radar? Sledgehammer gave us exactly what we wanted, boots on the ground, back to World War II. They gave us a really good game. Like me personally, I love Call of Duty World War II. I think it's a very well-rounded game. I like that it has multiple weapons to use in each category. It's not, it's not subject to just one weapon like, Call of Duties have been known for in the past. Call of Duty Ghost, obviously, at first it was the MTAR that was overpowered and everyone used the MTAR. And then it was the Vector for the rest of the game where it was literally pointless to use anything other than the Vector in the subcategory. Some people, especially ARs, use the Remington. But other than those two weapons, nothing was really used. And so it has very good variety within the weapon category, especially for competitive. I can see where it lacks a little bit on the maps. It only released with 9 multiplayer maps, and then obviously the 3 war mode maps because they were focusing on that. They also gave us a kick-ass zombies, a kick-ass zombies third game mode, if you will. It had I believe it's called Ghost in a House, which is like the survive as long as you can in this cramped area with, very either little to no perks. I don't remember if it had any perks on it. I don't think it had a mystery box. It barely had any. It was just pretty much good old-fashioned, like Nocturne Untoten style, except for super small, like way smaller than Nocturne Untoten from World at War. It had a really cool map with an Easter egg and storyline to it. I thought it had some longevity to it. People might like it. It was fun to play with people. It was based really upon the Easter egg in the campaign, if you will, the story mode with zombies. So yeah, it gave us some really good stuff there. Really solid campaign. I really enjoyed the campaign. If y'all have not played the World War II campaign, highly suggest you do. It's like a cinematic experience. It's like you're playing a movie. It's an interactive movie. Let's call it what it is. It's absolutely crazy. They got a great staff. Josh Duhamel plays in it. I'm not really sure of the actors of the names of the actors who played in it as well, but top-notch acting, top-notch directing. Everything about the campaign was just amazing. Just a good versus bad storyline. It was awesome. Once again, if you only play the multiplayer, if you only play the zombies, give the campaign a shot. It's awesome. So with all that being said, with all this positive I'm saying about it, obviously I'm biased. Call of Duty's my game. That's what I play. Why is it flying under the radar this year? Games are definitely way more popular than it. It doesn't seem to have that fan base back like it was anticipated to. Like people that haven't played COD in years were saying that they were going to come back, play World War II, Call of Duty's back, and in my opinion, like I said, it is. I freaking love this game. It's got potential to be my favorite Call of Duty of all time. But it's people aren't playing it. I mean, maybe I don't have stats, I don't have numbers, I don't have, last year compared to this year. I'm sure more people are playing it this year than they were playing last year on Infinite Warfare. But it's still not up to par with what we all wanted it to be this year. And I don't know what it is about it. I mean, I have some theories, maybe. Y'all can let me know what you think down in the YouTube comment section below. I'm going to upload this to SoundCloud as well. And then hopefully I can get this onto to iTunes. So there'll be a few different platforms that y'all can listen to this. But let me know. Hit me up on Twitter at ESP_micro. Let me know what y'all's opinions are on this. So my personal opinion, why this is flying under the radar, and really theory number one, and I really hope this isn't the case, is that COD is in fact dying. We've all heard, the haters, the naysayers of COD saying, COD's dead. COD can't compete with like CS, which has been around for like 20 years, something like that. It can't compete with like some of the games that have longevity to them that don't even release a new game every year. They release a game every 4 years, 5 years, something like, like the Counter-Strikes or the Rainbow Sixes, which Rainbow Six is going strong right now with the, heavy competitive scene on their current release of Rainbow Six Siege, which is, I believe right now is about 2-3 years old. Super fun game. I've played it a little bit on PC and PS4. So why are those shooter games having success but Call of Duty's not? And to be honest, like I said, maybe Call of Duty is just dying. Maybe people are just, gravitating towards something different. They're not wanting to play COD because it is technically just, the same game every year. Different skins on it, different maps, different things to do, sort of. But really the core game is the same. It's multiplayer, is, team versus team. You kill each other. You respawn, or if you're playing Search and Destroy, you don't respawn, you plant a bomb. It's the same thing, like the core game modes every single year. And if the developers end up introducing new game modes or whatever, it typically doesn't go over very well. I know, not Hardpoint. I know Uplink was a big success with Sledgehammer releasing that AW. People still play that today. It's pretty fun. It's really fun to watch competitively. But generally speaking, when the developers try and implement new game modes, it doesn't turn out very well or very popular, and it turns out just to be kind of a waste of time. I don't want to say that because obviously anything that the developers do, it's not a waste of time. They're learning, they're experiencing, they're getting feedback from the communities. So it's not really a waste of time, but it's like, take, for example, I believe it was called Hunted from Call of Duty Ghost. That was something that Infinity Ward was kind of really pushing for. Not really pushing for, but they put it there and they're like, it's going to be super fun. It's like Call of Duty's a fast-paced game mode in general, but cranked is like, on speed. It's like Call of Duty on speed. Fast, 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 which is what Call of Duty is kind of known for in their developments, were fast-paced first-person shooters. So it really didn't turn out well. I believe even during the game's height of its life cycle, there were like less than 100 people in that game mode, so it didn't really come out well. So people are used to the same Call of Duty every year, but when something new gets implemented, they don't get utilized by the community for whatever the reason is. I couldn't really tell you. I don't know if the developers could really tell you. With the implementation of War Mode this year, I think that kind of did it justice a little. They're not really justice, but it did it a little bit better. War Mode does have quite a bit of people playing it all times of the day, whether it be like in the morning, noon, night, it really doesn't matter. You're gonna find a game of War Mode, and it's fun because it's objective game mode. It's something different from Call of Duty. But then again, even with the War Mode, it's the same objectives. You gotta blow a bomb up. You gotta contest a hard point. Whatever it is in War Mode, it's kind of just those put together, which personally I don't have an issue with. I love Hardpoint. I love Search and Destroy. I love all this. Not an issue to me, but just my theory is that it is the same thing just put together, and there's not really anything new. It's just different skins. It's like if you get a skin in Counter-Strike for an AK, you can have all the skins in the world. It's the same weapon, just a different skin. That may be a bad comparison because skins in Counter-Strike, they go for a lot of IRL money. They're pretty popular, so maybe that's a bad comparison. But it's the same gun after all, and then every single year it's the same core fundamentals of the game, and that's why I think with Advanced Warfare that that was kind of the biggest mix-up ever, and obviously we all know how that turned out. The community did not react well, and that was kind of like the decline of the Call of Duty franchise at that moment. And so pretty much what we're talking about right now is why hasn't it rebounded from that, even though we're back to boots on the ground. We reversed it. Sledgehammer heard the community and they reversed it. They went the way the fans wanted them to. And so my theory on why, my first theory is that it just, they're moving on to something else. The Call of Duty community is moving on to the Counter-Strikes, the Rainbow Six Sieges, and the Fortnites, and that's a good segue because my second theory is that the reason why Call of Duty is suffering right now is based on the rise of the battle royale genre video game. Like we all know, it started really back in the day, which was before my PC time and before my time of the battle royale genre. It started with DayZ, the DayZ mod that was a battle royale, and then apparently like the Player Unknown guy, he worked on the mod, and then they actually implemented it into the actual game as a battle royale mode, and Player Unknown made that. And if y'all haven't known, like if y'all haven't heard, Player Unknown pretty much had his fingers in every single battle royale game that's become popular that I'm aware of. He had his fingers in DayZ battle royale mode. He had his fingers in H1Z1 battle royale mode. He obviously has the Player Unknown's Battlegrounds right now. As far as I know, he hasn't had anything to do with Fortnite, but of course it is in the battle royale genre, so obviously he's kind of sparked this whole genre. So yeah, that's my second theory, is that the rise of the battle royale genre is kind of taking away from what World War II could have been, and still can be, really, if it just depends on what happens. Is that a lot of people that you see that used to play COD, I'm talking about like big names here on YouTube, Allier, T Martin, Chaos, and by Chaos I mean like Chaos X Silencer, Jimmy, love his channel. But they all used to be Call of Duty channels. That used to be what they did. They played Call of Duty. They played Call of Duty, whatever, game battles. They covered Call of Duty news, especially like Allier and T Martin, Chaos, those guys. They were Call of Duty channels. That's what they were known for. Now, if you look at these same, not only these, it's not exclusive to them, but lots of big YouTubers and streamers that once played Call of Duty as their primary game or covered Call of Duty as their primary game. H1Z1 sort of had, at the beginning, had its hooks into people. People were playing H1Z1, and then before all the stuff with Daybreak, people were complaining, and then Daybreak wasn't changing anything. So then Player Unknown took his opportunity, created Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, and so that really sunk its hooks into the streaming/YouTube community. So it took these people that would have, played Call of Duty on YouTube, played Call of Duty on stream, the World War II, because it is a great game, and I haven't heard much negative feedback from these people. They all say, I know you guys might think I don't like this game because I haven't posted it on YouTube, I haven't been streaming it, but they do like the game. They always say, it's nothing against the game, I love the game, it's just I'm addicted to Player Unknown's Battleground. And then we all know Fortnite came out, and Fortnite, the more arcadey, colorful, bright, cartoony feel to it, really, really has its hooks into people right now, and that's all people are playing on stream, on YouTube, on whatever the case is. People are just addicted to Fortnite. So that's really taking away from, like, once again, what Call of Duty can be, or what could have been Call of Duty World War II, was just people are addicted to the Battle Royale games, especially Fortnite. And that's really diminishing from the community of Call of Duty and diminishing from the content being produced on the YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. yeah, just the battle royale genre is it's a new outlet for people to play video games. It's a new thing for people to do. It's something sort of new. If we're talking in the video game community right now, the video game scene, we're talking about literally like 5-6 years in the making, and that's nothing because H1Z1, I don't even remember when H1Z1 came out. I'm assuming, I'm just guessing it was like 5-6 years ago when it first came out and people first really got a mainstream taste of the battle royale genre. So that's super new in the gaming community, where if you're talking about shooters or like MMORPGs, these go back years, like beginning of video game, like 2D scrollers and whatnot with Zelda. These go back to the like late 90s. So these have been around forever, and the battle royale genre is kind of growing right now. It's new, it's fresh to gamers, and it's stealing the community from, you know, Call of Duty, World War II, and all of the shooters really, and all of any genre, because like I said, this is the genre, it's the head honcho right now. It's what people are doing. So that's really the second theory, and pretty much I think it's that one, why people are not playing Call of Duty World War II and why it kind of flies under the radar. Like I said, it's nothing against the game. For me personally, I love it. I play Call of Duty World War II anytime I get the chance, and now that I even think about it with myself, it's kind of I've lost some of not my passion. I still love the game. Call of Duty's like my game, like I keep saying, but back during the day, like when I played Call of Duty, when I was in school, when I was in high school, before I graduated, Call of Duty was life. Like, I couldn't wait to get home and play game battles matches. Even before I started playing competitively, back when I first started Modern Warfare 2, I only wanted to play Call of Duty. I would be at school thinking about, man, I can't wait to go home and play COD with my friends. I can't wait to get out of this class. I'm going to run home. I'm going to play Call of Duty and feel guilty while playing it because I knew I had to be doing homework or whatever the case was. And I was just like, Call of Duty, I need it. I absolutely need it in my life. And it was like that. It was like that through Ghost, through, Black Ops 3. I always was thinking about Call of Duty. And this year, it's not so much. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older. Adult things are happening. I work now, pretty much. I just don't think about it enough. But I don't have that urge to hop on, like, leave work and, like, oh, I can't wait to go home and play Call of Duty. And it's not a lack of passion. It's just like I don't know what it is. It's hard to put your finger on. So I can definitely see where the community has gone as a whole, sort of away from the Call of Duty scene, but I really that's my theory is it's the battle royale genre, and I haven't been really addicted like everyone else to PlayerUnknown's Battleground or Fortnite. Obviously, during IW, I was hooked on H1Z1. Y'all know that. That was pretty much a bulk of my streaming, and that was a bulk of my YouTube channel was H1Z1. So I've been through it. Maybe I'm just on the latter end of my battle royale phase, and maybe that'll happen to the community as a whole. In a few, like, give it a year, and maybe it'll start to fall off, kind of like I did, because I was ahead of the curve playing H1Z1. Hopefully, because I really, really enjoy Call of Duty World War II. I know it's a great game. I know it's exactly what the community wanted, and I think it deserves a lot more credit than it's getting right now, and it deserves a lot more attention than it's getting right now. In terms of the competitive scene, it's really popping, which is great. TK is actually a contender, and there's a lot of other contenders other than just like Optic Gaming and Envy and FaZe that we've seen in the past. It's more interesting. We're seeing some European teams getting better, and I think that's had a big impact on like the competitive scene. It's really I've seen 2 tournaments. I believe there's only been 2 major tournaments this year. Both were absolutely incredible. Both were absolutely intense and fun to watch, and I'm glad to see TK getting these championships, which they deserve. Theory's been on that team forever, off and on forever, and I'm glad to see him win, and the whole TK squad get the championships that they deserve, and they knew they can get. They just need to stick it out. So yeah, really that's my thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think on Twitter and whatever the case is down in the YouTube comments section. I really think Call of Duty is going to rebound. I think this is just a repairing year. It's exactly what we wanted, and I think if we get a couple more years of this with the other 2 developers, if Infinity Ward actually has a good game in a couple years, I think the Call of Duty franchise will be back on the right track, and it'll grow. It'll become the biggest game once again. And I have nothing but optimism for this franchise. Sledgehammer's doing it right. Everyone loves Treyarch, and the rumor going around right now, I don't know if it's been officially confirmed as of, today when I'm recording this, February 8th, 2018, is Black Ops 4. And of course, Black Ops is the most popular series in the Call of Duty franchise, arguably. Modern Warfare series might be bigger, actually. But yeah, that's really all I had on this. Hopefully Infinity Ward in a couple of years can come out swinging. Black Ops 4 kills it if it is indeed that game. Sledgehammer keeps killing it. And I think this franchise will end up saving itself just by the content that they put out, even though it's the same game every year. I think eventually the Battle Royale genre will get stale, and maybe, who knows, maybe even Call of Duty will implement their own Battle Royale game mode. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. Hopefully I'm going to start doing a little bit more podcast more frequently, shorter ones like this. Like I'm at 20 minutes, a little after 20 minutes. So hopefully I can keep doing them, some longer, create different podcast series. It'd be great. I love talking about Call of Duty, about video games in general. Hopefully I can get some people to talk with, spark up the espionage podcast again. And it's going to be a good time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, feel free to drop the hot thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Hopefully I'm going to be posting on Snapchat, Vine 2.0. I'm going to be on all the social medias. Don't forget to follow Espionage Gaming as well on Instagram at Espionage Gaming Official. Twitter at Espionage Gaming. At @the_ESP Gaming is the Twitter handle. And I will see you guys on the next podcast. Peace out, guys.